Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. So for today I'm going to be doing a first impressions on the new Colourpop Twilight palette. So if you want to see a look with this palette, see some swatches, then please stick around for today's video and make sure you are subscribed before leaving today. Let's talk about it. This is such a polarizing launch. I'm going to show you some close-ups of the palette. I honestly think that the packaging is amazing. I think it is so beautiful. The color story, I can definitely see like the Twilight movie in here. But like I said, this little baby right here is polarizing. I feel like people loved it or they hated it. I'm kind of somewhere in between. I mainly bought it because of the packaging. I'm just being real with you. This is actually currently sold out on the Colourpop website. You already know the drill. That was a fiasco on launch day, and it is actually sold out right now on Ulta's website, but they will be restocking at some point. If you were on Colourpop's website with me on launch day, then you already know it was absolutely madness. I didn't have any problems checking out. I just got the palette and I had to wait in line for a few minutes, about had a heart attack, but I ended up getting the palette. So if you did not get this palette, I'm so sorry you missed out on it. I'm very sorry if you missed out on it at Ulta as well, but like I said, hopefully they'll be doing restocks. But you know, at the end of the day, it sucks because this isn't just like another pretty palette that launched. Like, this is going to pull at your heartstrings if you were a Twilight fan and you missed out. So my heart breaks for you, but just know, like, I hope you can get it very soon. Hopefully they can restock very fast since it's Colourpop. But I'm going to zoom you in and let's talk about the palette and let's create a look. I have the swatches on my hand still because I'm just trying to gather my thoughts. It's not exactly what I thought. So this is the palette, the packaging. I honestly would have preferred just like a mirror and maybe like their silhouette where you couldn't like see like their face, you know, and like maybe like a wolf silhouette over here, something like that. I don't know, because I love mirrors in my packaging, but it's okay. I have a mirror that I can just hold. I'm going to go in with Say It Loud right here, just this very neutral brown that I can use in the transition because you know how I am. Whenever this palette was revealed, I was so excited, and then I was like, well, I don't know if I see it. I do see it. I definitely see the movie in here. I do like how the exterior little slip, it kind of makes me think of the book. So I feel like we got a little bit of the book and then the movie. I'm hoping that we see collabs with the other movies as well. That way we get those reds and other shades that we expected to see in this palette. We'll maybe get to see it in other palettes as well, so everyone is happy. I'm going to go into the deeper brown and then maybe this one in a minute. I'm going to go into Unconditionally. It's more of like a gray blue matte. I feel like it doesn't matter what Colourpop, like what the color story would have been, it would have never pleased everybody. So I do think it's a pretty palette in general. I love the books, I love the movies. About every, I'd say like once a year, I'll binge watch all the movies. That's just how I am. But I was very excited to see this, like them do a collaboration with Twilight. But I'm with y'all. I would have definitely liked to see some other fun pops because, like I said, I initially was very excited. I was like, okay, I definitely see the movie in here. But then whenever I started swatching it, I was like, this is very repetitive. That's why I have the swatches on my hand still, because I needed time to think, because they, like some of these shimmers, they are very, very similar. We do have two pressed glitters in here, which, why are we still doing that? Do you like the pressed glitters? That's one reason why I don't even buy from Colourpop anymore. If this wasn't a Twilight like collaboration, I would have never bought it. But it was. I'm just being real. I bought it for the packaging. I have full intentions of pulling out the pressed glitters and adding some of my own indie shimmers in here, and also kind of making some more magical shades with the shimmers. That's just what I plan to do. But I needed this packaging for I needed the palette for the packaging because Colourpop shades are magnetic. I need to make sure before I forget that this one is too. I'm sure it is, but yep, see, they're magnetic, so you can just pull them out and press them back in. I'm going to go into 17, which is the matte green. How long have you been 17? I will say you get a little bit of powder kick up in the pan, but these mattes, they're really nice. I haven't bought a Colourpop palette in quite some time. They don't have my favorite formula, but their packaging always gets me. So this is a really pleasant surprise, this matte formula. Now I'm going in with Impossibly Fast, the deeper green in the palette, and just adding that towards the end of my eye for some definition. I have one more matte I have not used. It's the blue in the palette, so I'm going to add just a little bit on the top lower lash line so we can really tie in all the mattes. I'm wanting to make sure that they all look really nice on each other. We have no blending issues. That way I can let you know about the formula and try as many shades as possible. God, it is so annoying not having a mirror in palettes. Like, I'm just going back and forth. I'm just adding some NYX glitter glue on my lid. I'm going to go in with a few shimmers, and then for y'all, I'm going to go into the pressed glitter, but I won't be doing that in the future. Let's see. They're very repetitive, man. I mean, this is a pressed glitter right here. This blue, this one's a pressed glitter. So you have these two really light shimmers, which essentially they look very similar. And then you have these two, which one's a little more gunmetal, one's a more like taupey, but swatched out, they look really similar. So I don't know. I guess I'll go into Prom Knot. That sounds like a fun name, which whatever. I'm gonna go in with that one, and then I'll probably do the blue next. These shimmers just feel like a traditional shimmer. There's nothing fancy about them. Now I'm going to go into the Colons right here, this blue. This was the one shade in the palette whenever I swatched it. I was like, that's dry. That one I was like, oh no. It's just dry. I'm just being honest with you. It's nothing that's going to knock your socks off. But it's still pretty, but don't get excited for it if you are a blue lover. It just feels like a filler shade. Before we do a pressed glitter, I'm trying to build up the courage. I want to go in with a Lion and the Lamb and put that on the lower lash line. This green looks exciting. It looks prettier than the other shimmers, I must say. I'm just going to add a little bit more intensity down here. Now I want to go in with Ice Cold on the inner corner. This one's just a touch brighter than Prom Knot, but not by much. I mean, on the eye, they're very similar. Okay, it's time to go in with pressed glitters. I'm going to add a little bit of NYX glitter glue. I feel like that would be wise to both lids. And then I'm going to, let's see, I haven't used the black yet. Maybe I can use it as liner or to deepen something out. So we've got, this pressed glitter and that one. So should I just mix them both so I can use every shade in the palette? Okay, we're going to go in with Edward. This one looks really pretty. And let's just tap it on. I have not tried a pressed glitter from Colourpop since many, many years ago, and I must say, these have improved significantly, so that is exciting. Now I'm going to go in with Immortal in the middle. Don't hate me, but dare I say the pressed glitters are better than the actual shimmers in the palette. They don't feel too gritty like a glitter. They honestly feel like a textured shadow, like a textured shimmer. It doesn't necessarily feel like glitter on the eyes, so I'm excited about it. I take it back. Maybe I won't scoop them out and get rid of them because these have impressed me more than the other pigments. Okay, well that was a very pleasant surprise. This gunmetal, I don't know where to use it. I'm trying to use every shimmer in the palette. I'm just going to pop a little bit. That's why I'm doing this, because I want to get a nice feel. I haven't played with a Colourpop palette in so long. Okay, I'm not mad at that gunmetal. Now I'm going to do the Forever Young. This is a matte black with shimmers in here. This was a perfect opportunity to add some red sparkles in there to please everybody, since they didn't want to have a pop of red or iridescent red. They could have just added a touch of red in there. This is more like a satin. It's I don't know. It's kind of a soft matte. I'm just going to kind of add that as liner, and then I'll be back to show you the finished look. Okay guys, so this is a finished look. Believe it or not, I actually like how it came out, considering I used every single shade in the palette. I just threw it on my eyes, and this is the look I came up with. So now I'm going to turn down the brightness. So here is the look under low lighting. Those pressed glitters is what's making this very shimmery and more in your face, sparkly. But just know that the other shimmers in the palette are a little bit toned down. I just wanted to point that out. Now let me swatch some, so, you know, while we're here under low lighting, because it looks the best. Let's see. I'll do the pressed glitter so you can see what I mean in comparison to something else. So we'll do Edward, which is probably my favorite shade in the palette. It's a little textured, a little gritty, but nothing crazy. And then I'll do Prom Night right beside it so you can kind of see them. This is just a shimmer. This one's the pressed glitter. Maybe you can see the difference. And I'll do the other thing, like the same thing with the blues. Let me smooth it out. So it is a little gritty, but nothing crazy. And then the shimmer's like a traditional shimmer. And there you have it. See how they're really similar? Like, yes, there's subtle differences, but that's how all the shimmers are in the palette. Okay, and now let's do, I can't see, it's so dark, Immortal. The blue pressed glitter, and then I'll do the blue shimmer, which is like, she's dry. Alright, let's do the two. So this one's the pressed glitter. If you probably don't even care about that, I just wanted to kind of show you the difference. And then here's just like the, what are you called? The Collins, the regular blue. That's the difference. See how they just look all similar? Let me do it over here. So I'm going to do another shimmer. I'll do the gunmetal and then the more taupey one. See if there's some differences here. Okay, so these you can tell a difference. Let's see. Okay, there's most of the shimmers. There's, you know, there's subtle differences, but I just want to show you that there are some repetitions. So now I'm going to wash my hands, and then I'm going to come back and kind of go over my thoughts over this palette. I think I have my thoughts in order, but probably not. I have so much to say. Before I go into all that, let me just preface this by saying that I am an eyeshadow palette snob. I admit it. Hi. My name is Brittany and I love indie eyeshadow palettes. That's mainly what I review. If you're familiar with my channel, you already know it. I love indie makeup. My heart beats for indie shimmers. They are amazing. So I just wanted you to know kind of like what I like before I review this palette. Also, I'm not here to be biased and be like, the movies are the best. The books are the best. This is a color story we should have seen. No, like, no. I'm just trying to not be biased and let you know about the makeup, the quality, the packaging, all of that. And then I'll kind of get into my opinions as we go, but like, let's just talk about the quality. So let's first start off with the packaging. This little sleeve right here, I love that they added this nice touch to the palette. Typically, I will rip these off of palettes and throw them away to never be seen again. But for me, this is like my little middle school heart, high school heart loving self. It's just, it has a little bit of the book in here for me because the inside of it, it's black and it has like a lace detail. And then the white and the red. So for me, it's like, okay, they honored the book just a little bit. Probably unpopular opinion, but just, I don't know. That's why I really like it. I'm not going to throw it away. Now, this packaging right here, I love the forest vibes. I love the fog, the nice icy details. You would have seen it at the very beginning, how it's like a little bit reflective. Gorgeous, nice touch. They also included the names on the back. Don't care about that, but like, cool. I wanted to also mention, like, it has a soft matte touch, so it's not just like a typical cardboard another random palette. It has a nice soft luxe feel, and this is actually Ray's Twilight. And then whenever you open it, you do get the picture of them. I would have been fine with just like a mirror, like I said, and maybe like their silhouette and like a wolf over here, something like that. But this is what we got. This was their vision. I think it's pretty. And honestly, my mom, she's not into makeup. She's not in the makeup bubble, and I showed her this palette because she knows how much I love the movies and the books, and I was like kind of complaining about it. I was like, I don't want to see their face. She was like, well, Brittany, they did a collab with Colourpop, so they're the main stars. Why wouldn't you see their face? I was like, you know what? Sometimes it's nice to get like an outsider's perspective. Like if you did a collab with Twilight, why wouldn't you want them on the palette? I'm like, okay, I guess I get it. But like brands, like let's just not put faces on the palette. You know what I mean? Anyway, so just my touch. I think it's pretty, but I can see why people aren't obsessed with that. I think that just like, let's keep faces off the palette, everybody. And let's talk about the color story. I think that this really captures the movie Twilight. I'm assuming we're going to see, like, I would say like new moon, eclipse, breaking dawn, because I think we're going to get a little bit of everything. Money talks, and this sold out so fast. I'm like, okay, Colourpop's thinking, their wheels are turning, like let's go ahead and get a contract with all of them because of how well this sold. They're like, okay, my audience, my consumers like Twilight, so maybe they will give us some more color stories that you all enjoy. Maybe we will see some of those reds and the blacks and the deeps and the grays and like the auburn tones and the orange tones, all of the things that you're wanting to see. Maybe you'll get that in a future palette. Cross your fingers. But so far, this is what we have. This is what their vision was. It's a pretty palette and it's safe, and that's kind of what sells, are neutrals with fun pops. So I think that they nailed it if we're just referring to like Twilight movie. Let's talk about the formula now. Okay, so I think that the formula is nice. The mattes are what impressed me the most in the palette. The shimmers are fine. They're more traditional. They're okay. Like, they're not getting me excited by any means. The shade Collins is so dry. I'm like, okay, you have the money, Colourpop. Give us a little. I want a little bit more from you, you know. But if you love Colourpop, this is right on par with their other quality. We do have two pressed glitters in here. I know that is a deal breaker for some, so I did want to mention that to you. It is gritty like a glitter, but nothing like intense. I'm used to like their old school glitters where it looks like craft glitter. So that's what I thought this was going to be, but it's not. It's more like high end glitter in a way. I think that the shimmers in here they're pretty. They're just too repetitive. That's all I'm going to say about like these two are too repetitive. These two, like, there's a subtle difference. I think the green is the best shimmer in the palette, but that's just kind of like, it's fine. It's like meh, you know what I mean? So would I recommend this to you? I would only recommend this to people if you are fans of the movie, because I feel like that's the only people that's going to buy it. If you're just like a Colourpop collector, I think that the formula is right on par with the others, but it's nothing to blow your socks off, you know, it's fine. But that's kind of my thoughts on the packaging, the color story, everything about it. It sucks that it sold out so fast. I'm so sorry if you did not pick it up. If you weren't able to, I hope you are in the future. You may be over it by that point, but I'm just keeping it real with you. The main reason why I bought this palette was, one, because I'm a fan, but two, I wanted the packaging because I'm going to crush these shimmers up and add in my own indie shimmers because I want to sparkle, I want shifts, and I'm going to make this the color story that I envisioned for it. So that's just kind of what I'm going to do. If you want to see my take on it, maybe just let me know, and I'll leave like a reel up somewhere or something. Just let me know if you even cared to see what I would have done. But I'm overall really happy. I'm excited. I think it's absolutely beautiful, and I'm kind of like a little shook by the pressed glitters being more intense than the shimmers. Yeah, the shimmers, you let me down, but it's fine. I'm a eyeshadow palette snob, and I'm just fully admitting that to you. This collection also came with highlighters. I thought that I could pass. I have enough. If they would have come in like really pretty packaging instead of just like the cheap little pot, I would have bought them, but I don't need like the cheap packaging. I wanted an experience. So if it was like this with something else, I would have bought it. The lippies, I could pass. The packaging didn't pull me in. The body oil glitter thing, I like body oils, but I don't want sparkle, but I get why they did that. Let's see, the liners, I don't use liquid liners, so it was a pass. So that's why I just wanted the palette, because I love Twilight. I love the books and movies, so I wanted a little bit of piece of Twilight in my collection, and I mainly went to mix me my own shimmers in here. But that's going to do it for today's video. Please let me know down below, did you pick this up? If you didn't, I'm so sorry. Hopefully you can pick it up in the future. Are you duping it, or is it on your wish list, or are you like so ticked off you're like, I'm done, I don't want it? Just vent down below. But that's going to do it for today's video. Wherever you are in the world, I hope you're doing well. I hope that you are healthy, happy, and safe. Stay beautiful. Bye, guys.